Welcome,
Thank you.
everyone. I hope you are having a great Tuesday. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are going to discuss making your education a staycation and the benefits of going to school in state. My name is Kelly Cleveland. I am the Associate Director of Undergraduate Admissions here at JU. Hopefully, I have some familiar names in our attendees tonight. I primarily recruit in state, so I'm very happy to be here tonight. And with us, I have Misty Pippin. She is our financial services expert for the night. So I will flip it over to her.
Thank you, Kelly. Hi, my name, like Kelly said, I'm Misty Pippin. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Financial Services. I'm also an undergraduate counselor. Um, Happily, also, I am a double dolphin. That means that I graduated from Jacksonville University with both my undergraduate and my graduate degree. So I'm really excited to share some information with y'all tonight, not only as a student of Jacksonville University, but I've had 3 kids who've attended Jacksonville University, and I have a freshman starting in the fall. So we're excited that you're all here with us. Bianca's also online with us. She's from our financial aid office. She's the counselor, and she'll be answering all your questions in the chat. If you have any questions that you want to post in the chat, just remember to please include everyone, because we know that a lot of times people ask the same questions, and so everyone can see the answer and everybody can see the question. If you click everyone as you're typing, then it'll let everyone see what you're saying and let everyone see what Bianca answers. Okay. So let's get started. We're going to talk about why you should stay in Florida and the benefits of staying in an in-state college. So the 5 topics we're going to cover tonight is: what is financial aid? What is the importance of the FAFSA? What are some benefits of staying in Florida? We're going to look at in-state cost comparison, and why Florida in-state college benefits. So what is financial aid? So financial aid is all the resources that are available to students and their families that help them pay for a post-secondary education. For us, we divide that into 2 separate groups. You have gift aid and self-help aid. Gift aid includes the funding students do not have to repay. That would be like an outside scholarship or any grants, any scholarships that you receive. That is considered gift aid. Self-help aid requires something from the student and or parent. An example of this would be a loan or work study. Loans you're borrowing and you have to repay. Work study, you have to work in order to earn the funds. Need-based and non-need-based aid is another way to characterize financial aid. The FAFSA calculation that takes place when a student completes the FAFSA determines the student's eligibility for need-based aid. This is why the FAFSA is so important and is so valuable for most families. Without a FAFSA, the student will not be evaluated for any need-based aid. So it's really important that you complete the FAFSA. I'll say that a lot tonight, but it's an important way to find out what you may be eligible for, not only federally, but state and institutionally. So the importance of the FAFSA. So first, let's start with what is the FAFSA. So the FAFSA is a federal application that is used to determine a student's eligibility for federal, state, and institutional grants, and also federal loans. The FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. There are some sites out there that you may think is the FAFSA website, but if you get on a site and it ever asks for money to complete the form, you're not on the correct site, because it's free to fill out the FAFSA and you'll never have to pay anything to do it. For the last few years, the FAFSA has opened on October 1st. However, this year, due to there was a FAFSA Simplification Act that came out to streamline and make the FAFSA easier for students and families to fill out. That pushed the FAFSA back, and it pushed it back. It opened towards the end of December. There were some difficulties at first, but it finally opened in January, and now it is fully open. So you can fill out the FAFSA now for the 24-25 academic year, get all of your information in there. And it's right now they're pretty quick at getting that information over to the schools. It's about 3 to 5 days is the expected wait time once you complete the FAFSA and you submit it. For the FAFSA, Bianca can provide in the chat the link to complete the FAFSA, but the website is studentaid.gov. Also, Bianca, if you could share some videos. There's a few videos that the Federal Student Aid has put out, some YouTube videos. So Bianca can share those in the chat if you want to check those out. It's some really valuable information that helps you for any questions that may come up, especially since it's your first time completing the FAFSA. Again, the FAFSA is going to determine your need-based eligibility, and then we'll also review for non-need-based eligibility all at the same time. It does require a student fills out their portion, and then what happens is you put in your parent's information, and then it sends a link to your parent for your parent to become a contributor. Your parent then logs in separately and completes their portion of the FAFSA. The FAFSA also uses prior year taxes. So if you haven't filed for 2023, you filed an extension, that's okay because it's going to use 2022 taxes for the 24-25 year. If your situation has changed, and that does happen sometimes because maybe what you're earning in 2024 is less than what you were earning in 2022, that can happen. We just ask that, or you're still required to fill out the FAFSA using 2022 taxes. But then after we receive your FAFSA and we get everything processed, you can reach out to your financial aid counselor, and there's a special form that you can request from us that will ask for your current situation, and we will do a secondary review and send that information back to the Department of Ed to find out if you're maybe eligible for additional aid. When you're filing the FAFSA, you'll need to use an ID number. Our ID number is 001495. So some Florida benefits. There are several financial aid benefits to attending Jacksonville University as an in-state resident. Not only will you be evaluated for the Jacksonville University Merit Scholarship, you'll also have an easier time visiting the campus to receive the visit grant because you're in Florida. We offer honors and university scholarships, and students are reviewed for these programs by their admissions counselor when they apply to the university. We also offer athletic scholarships, fine arts scholarships. Those do require a portfolio or an audition, and we accept all outside scholarships. We have a resourceful tool on our financial aid website that has scholarships that you can check out. We vet those scholarships and we post them on our website, so you can definitely look there. We have someone who posts those every day as we receive those in. If you attended a Florida high school, you may be eligible for Bright Futures. If you have any questions about Bright Futures, I always suggest that you meet with your guidance counselor before the school year ends, because your guidance counselor puts in a lot of the information that goes to the state that helps you with your eligibility for Bright Futures. Bianca will provide the link to the Bright Futures site in the chat in case you need to fill out the application. You haven't done that yet, or you have any questions about the eligibility, what you need, GPA requirements, testing requirements, and volunteer requirements for Bright Futures. Grants are another source of funding that's available. We have institutional grants that are need and non-need based. We review for those, like I said, when the FAFSA comes in. And then there's the state grants, which is what would be a great benefit for y'all who are Florida residents. We have what's called if you're Pell eligible, we have what's called a FSAG grant. That's the Florida Student Assistance Grant. That's a supplemental grant to help offset the cost. And these grants do have limited funding. So we always recommend that you complete the FAFSA as soon as it opens. I know it's been weird this year, but always complete it as soon as you can so that the federal government doesn't run out of money. And one of the biggest grants that we're able to offer is called the Florida Resident Grant. It's the Effective Access to Student Education EASE grant, but it's Florida Resident Grant. It's offered to students that are parents or residents of Florida and can prove that they've been residents of Florida for over a year. That you will have to turn in 2 forms of ID for that, but that's a $3,500 grant. So that's a great grant just for being a Florida resident. We also accept Florida prepaid, any other 529s, and all VA benefits. So hope that's some good information. We're going to go on to the next slide, and we're going to talk about the cost completion. So, or cost comparison. So if you look here, you're able to see that on the cost comparison, we're comparing 2 Florida universities. One is Jacksonville University, which is private, but the other is a public university. And when you're looking at the 2, you're able to see, yes, our tuition may start out higher, and overall the direct costs are higher, but we offer higher merit scholarships. We have additional grants and scholarships that we're able to award So when you're looking at the cost and what you're paying out of pocket, you're going to want to compare everything. It's not always apples to apples. It could be apples to oranges. You want to make sure that you've looked at everything, keep a little spreadsheet. That's what I always recommend to my students. If you have 4 schools you're looking at, kind of keep everything straight so that you can find out what is the best fit for you financially, but also where you want to be. You want to make sure that everything works out for you to be at the school. But this kind of shows you, don't let the overall price of that direct cost scare you off from applying to Jacksonville University, because we have a lot of benefits that we can offer you staying in state and that we offer in our institutional scholarships. So the in-state college benefits. This one is this, Kelly, I think I'm going to turn it over to you. I think this is where you're going to start talking about these.
Of course, happy
Thank
to.
you, Kelly.
You are welcome. Okay, so just a couple of things that we want to run through of why should you stay in Florida? Why should you consider Jacksonville? I think one of our biggest reasons Jacksonville is ranked in the top 20 best places to live. There's lots of fun things to do here. I think this is a cool city where there's really something for everyone. I am particularly from up north, so I came to JU. I graduated in 2015. I chose to stay after I graduated. Well, I did go home for a little bit and I came back because they sucked me in down here. I love it. But top 20 best places to live. And of course, it's sunny Florida. Like, why would you want to leave all of the sunny days that we have every year? I think JU specifically, we're in a really unique location. We are about 20 to 25 minutes away from the Jacksonville beaches. So that's obviously a really great benefit. I think regardless of where you're coming from in Florida, you love the beach, so why not be close to it? It's a really great city overall for young professionals. And if you are seeking a job, there's lots of Fortune 500 companies downtown. So we have the CSX Corporation, Fidelity, and Florida Blue, just to name a couple of them. But just going back to that, if you're a sports fan, if you're interested in sports business or sports marketing, or you just like sports, like we're 10 minutes away from the downtown area where we have the Jaguars, the Jumbo Shrimp, the Jacksonville Icemen. So just to name a couple of our sports teams, there's really something for everybody here. Overall, when it comes down to our student body, we are a very small university. We have about 2,600 undergraduate students and about 1,300 grad students. And even though JU is a small university, it's really like a melting pot. I think you are bound to meet someone from just about anywhere when you are here on this campus. When we break it down to in-state and out-of-state, we're a little bit heavier on the Florida side, with 54% of our students coming from in-state, and they truly come from all over: South Florida, the Gulf Coast, the Panhandle, really everywhere. And then 46% of our students are from out-of-state. To go a little bit further than that, we have 61 different countries represented on campus. So that's what I'm talking about. You are really bound to meet someone from just about anywhere when you're here. 49 different states. So if you guys know anybody in Wyoming, please drop their name in the chat, because we would love to go for 50 for 50 there. And then 4 districts and territories. We're really big on supporting our Dolphins. We want you to have a good experience while you're here on our campus, and we have a ton of different platforms to ensure that that happens. I'm not going to go through all of these. I will let you read them, but I do just want to highlight a few of them. Our Student Counseling Center, we know how important mental health is on our campus. So if you are struggling with something, you need some support, just need to talk through some options, we have our Student Counseling Center with our mental health experts here on campus. Our disability support services, that's a really awesome program. Maybe you need some extra accommodations or support in the classroom. They will work with you, and they will work with your professors or residential life to make sure that you are in a supportive environment that's conducive and best for your learning. And of course, probably one of my favorites, I definitely used them when I was an undergraduate student, is career services. They will help you kind of fine tune your resume. They'll help you search for internships. They even have a closet of clothes on campus. So if you have a job interview coming up and you're kind of like panicking, you don't know what to wear, you can go in there and they'll dress you. They will set you up for success for your job interview. And just a couple of things that are really big and upcoming at JU that we're really excited. A couple of them have been open since we started, I guess, this past semester. The Wolfson Student Lounge, that is right outside of our cafeteria. So that's a really nice environment where students can collaborate, learn, work on projects. It's also kind of a quiet space. So lots of technology plugins there. If you need a place to charge up before class, that's going to be your hub. Our STEAM Institute, that is really a collaborative space for a lot of our majors to come together. We have a new major that came about, I think this past fall or maybe last fall, I can't remember, fintech. So that's kind of a finance and technology hybrid that is a collaboration between two colleges. So this STEAM Institute is a space where they can work and be successful in their classes. Our enrichment center is coming up in the fall of 2024, I believe. This is going to be a space for our students that are incoming, a space for them to feel supported, answer their questions. We know that a student's first year is a really big transition phase, so we want to make sure that we support them through that transition. So this is going to be a big hub where we're going to have different representatives across campus that will be easily accessible to our students really at any time for them to navigate their freshman year and years after that with ease. And finally, our River House and Amenity Center. I am just a big beachgoer pool girl, so I'm excited for this. I really wish this was on campus when I was a student at JU, but we're really revamping our River House and waterfront area. We're actually going to put in a brand new aquatics facility. I think I heard a rumor about a lazy river, but I'm not entirely sure. So don't
I hadn't heard that. That's exciting.
don't send that back to me if it's not true, but I'm excited. There's going to be lots of space to catch some sun and even some beach volleyball courts that will be brand new. So we're super excited about what's coming up next year. As always, we would love for you guys to visit campus. If you have not already, we really encourage you to come to campus, visit, get on a college campus as many times as you can to make sure it's the right space for you. But of course, we would love to welcome you to JU. You don't even have to walk around when it's hot or at the slim chance, I hope it's not raining. We actually take you on a golf cart tour throughout campus. And just for visiting, you actually receive $1,000 scholarship literally just for coming on a campus tour. And you can keep that $1,000 scholarship for all 4 years if you file the FAFSA. If you choose not to file the FAFSA, you will likely just keep it for your freshman year. So definitely do both because who wouldn't love $4,000?
Exactly. I would. Thank you,
This,
Kelly.
you're welcome. This is your slide, Misty? Yeah.
Yes, I will talk
Okay.
about this one. I told you I would talk about the FAFSA a lot. It's something that we definitely push. Again, it's currently open for 24-25. Based on all of the everything that we're reading out there, it's not going to go back to October 1st this year. They're expecting it to open sometime in December, but then the following year, they're hoping that it will go back to opening on October 1st. And then once it opens, again, like I said, if you're wanting to utilize those grants, make sure that you're eligible before all the funding is gone. Fill out the FAFSA as soon as it opens so that you can get your name at the top of the list. We are currently working, we, because of the delay of the FAFSA, our offer letters went out a little bit later this year, but we're excited to announce that our first round of offer letters, I think there was over 1,800, went out this week. So we're very excited about that because it's this real pretty letter that lists all this information, but it shows you cost and all of this great financial aid that you're going to receive to help you afford it. And then it has other valuable information on the letter. So our first round of letters went out this week. In the future, they'll go out a little bit sooner because hopefully we will not have the delay of the FAFSA to ever deal with again. And we are currently having conversations with families now. We can give you an estimate. So if you want to reach out to look up the financial aid counselor from the link that Bianca was able to share in the chat, you can reach out to your counselor, set up an appointment, and we can give you estimates if we haven't received your FAFSA yet. But once we receive your FAFSA, we can give you a pretty tight picture of what it's going to look like. We can tell you, okay, this is what you're eligible for federally, state, institutional, and then you're able to see what this year looks like And you have your fall and your spring, and then we can go over all of the options with you to cover anything that may be left over after all of your aid has been applied. So I think that's pretty much everything that we wanted to go over tonight about why staying in Florida. You have your state grants, and of course, it's Florida, and we're beautiful, and we have a beautiful campus, but we're close to a lot of beautiful things. And then we have the Jaguars, so you can't go wrong here. But yeah, I think that's mostly what we have. So we can go over some questions, Bianca, if there's anything that was in the chat you weren't able to answer, or Kelly, if there's anything that you could think of.
Okay, somebody asked, can you describe campus and the student life at Jacksonville University? Miss, do you want to tag team this one together? And I will do my best, since we're both alums.
I feel
I
like, yeah, you go first.
Okay. It is a small campus and it is along the waterfront. So if you have not visited, definitely encourage you to. Um, JU kind of sits in like the center of Jacksonville. So I think we have really good access to pretty much everywhere in the city. 10 minutes from downtown, like I mentioned, on the water. We're 20 to 25 minutes away. Um, as far as like what campus looks like, I wonder if I can have a link where there's a bunch of pictures. Let me see what I can find. Um,
I think one of the things that I loved about, so I went to FSCJ originally, and then I graduated from Jacksonville University. And I just love the smaller classroom sizes. You get to know the people in your classes, and that creates more of a community. You see people that you quickly get to know people, and you're able to have a camaraderie very quickly. I love that. And I love that there's usually some kind of sporting event that's going on, or some kind of event. Last week, a group of us from our office and admissions and a couple other offices on campus got together, and we went to the fall dance recital. Last month we went to a baseball game. We've been to lacrosse games. This I think we went to one a couple months ago. We try to get out and do different things like that, but I noticed that there's always seems like there's always something going on. So that's always nice to kind of, but it's not overwhelmingly crowded. It's just nice and homey. I love that. And we have beautiful trees. Our campus is beautiful. And hammocks, nice hammocks you can take a nap in, or just have a little break in between classes.
Anything else that you all can think of? What opportunities are there for student involvement in clubs, organizations, and extracurricular activities? Definitely reach out to your admissions counselor because I think they can send you some important links specifically for what you're looking for. But at the beginning of every semester, there's a really big organization fair. So all of the organizations come out, you can visit them, ask them questions, you can sign up, you can join. There's Greek life, there's some athletic teams. There's so many different clubs and organizations. We have over, I think, 100 active ones on campus. So definitely encourage you to come to campus and visit if you have not already, but also attend that organization fair. Okay, if that is all the questions that you all have, I think we'll hang out for one more minute. And thank you all for joining us tonight. We hope this was informative. If you have any questions, all of our email contacts are in the chat. So please grab those and write to any of us. We're happy to help you.